Hello everyone, this is your host Bad Boogl. Choking under pressure, slumps, and issues with inconsistency have been by far the most complicated subjects I've tried to understand since starting this channel. I'll always be providing the source materials and related papers, but I'm finding more and more that a channel of this type will require a decent amount of speculation. The amount of background information was a bit more than I figured it might be. And since I don't have all the time in the world to ensure the validity of my current understanding, I've decided to make another playlist for more speculative videos. So, from now on, I'll be categorizing new uploads in playlists based on my level of confidence in my comprehension of the material. Even saying that, I still feel I'm responsible to encourage viewers to be skeptical about the information and to think about how it might fit into their own personal philosophy. It's quite possible that as I find additional information and hear new arguments, my views may change. Even though I think it's important to understanding the whole video, if anyone wants to skip the history, there are links to the other parts of the video down in the description. Alright everyone, brace yourselves for this sick-ass diagram of how I've broken this all down. We're going to start up top on my little map in 1968 with the Atkinson and Shiffrin theory of memory and processing. Even though these ideas have been hugely influential on how we view memory and processing, they are not entirely accurate. They built up the framework for future research, but the inherent issues meant that other theories relying on their theory now have an invalid premise. Addressing some of the issues with the Atkinson and Shiffrin theory, Baddeley and Hitch released their model of working memory in 1974. I'd like to explain it, but there's really no need. All the related papers are linked in the video description, and I'll probably link some videos of Alan Baddeley himself explaining working memory. All everyone needs to know is the definition: a flexible, capacity-limited mental workscape used to store and process information in the service of ongoing cognition. Baddeley and Hitch's theory informed Eysenck and Calvo of the relationship between memory and processing so that they could better understand the relationship between processing, performance, and other factors. They ended up publishing their research in 1992. I know that sounds super neat, but it's been updated, so we're going to be talking about what that means first. And when I say it, I mean both working memory and Eysenck and Calvo's research. Since Baddeley and Hitch released a revised theory of working memory in 2000, in 2007, Eysenck, Derrickson, Santos, and Calvo could publish their revised processing efficiency theory, which they updated to attentional control theory. Okay, so we're talking about attentional control theory then? Well, attentional control theory just provides the foundation for my argument of why we should train our working memory to improve our focus, reasoning, and other skills that are important to Rocket League. In this video, we're going to be taking a deeper look into a randomized controlled trial titled Computerized Training of Working Memory in Children with ADHD. Apparently a lot of people worked on this one too, so I'm not going to read all of their names, but they're on the screen and you can pause to read them if you'd like. Apparently, as the paper puts it, deficits in executive functioning, including working memory deficits, have been suggested to be important in attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And to quote their conclusion, this study shows that working memory can be improved by training children with ADHD. This training also improved response inhibition and reasoning, and resulted in a reduction of the parent-rated inattentive symptoms of ADHD. Now, I know everyone is not a child with ADHD, and we may not know for sure that working memory processes were involved, but we do know that these children did do the training intended to improve working memory, and then went on to have markedly increased performance immediately and later on. Since we don't have access to the program they use to train working memory, what should we do? Well, like I talked about in the quick update video, the most promising tool I've found so far is Mindfulness Training. I'm going to explain it again, but if you're interested in hearing more, I'll be linking my other video in the upper right-hand corner. I will also be providing links down in the description to some videos that I think will provide good explanations without any mystical nonsense. A 2010 study by Jha, Stanley, Kiyonaga, Wong, and Gelfand stated participants were instructed to complete 30 minutes of homework each day, practicing mindfulness training exercises with audio CDs specifically created by the instructor for this cohort. The homework was comparable to that given in MBSR courses, but was frequently completed in a group setting and in short sessions throughout the day. Concentrative focus skills were predominant in the homework exercises, and participants reported that body scan and breath awareness practice were most frequently practiced. Reading this confirmed my suspicions that mindfulness meditation would qualify for this mindfulness training, acting as more evidence for mindfulness meditation to mediate slumps, choking under pressure, and inconsistency. Well, not really inconsistency, I guess. I have a theory to explain that, but shortly said, it's a matter of timing, chance, and confusing the results of blocking practice for long-term learning. So, what I'm trying to say is that we can use mindfulness meditation to improve a part of our cognition. There may be disputes behind the mechanisms of action, but regardless of that, we do know that mindfulness training has resulted in improved learning, memory, comprehension, and reasoning. Not only that, but the improvement seemed to transfer to other areas that relied on similar faculties. This means that the benefits of mindfulness training should extend beyond just Rocket League, so there's lots of reason to give it a try. Alright everyone, that's it for now. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe. I mean it, guys. Smash that like button. I want to see 2 million likes, guys. Alright, if you think a friend would benefit from hearing this information, please don't hesitate to send them a link. Peace.
Are you afraid of